Hey guys, welcome to Red 50. Thank you for tuning into another video. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. So Ford has finally unveiled the all-new 2024 S650 Mustang. This will be the 7th generation of the Mustang and has been highly anticipated since the beginning of the year. We've seen lots of spy shots and covered a lot of it on our channel, but this thing is finally real and we have the 7th gen S650 Mustang for the 2024 model year. It was unveiled at the Detroit Auto Show where I was able to see it up close, and I have to say the new Mustang looks pretty good. Even though it received only minor tweaks from the S550 Mustang, it's enough for it to really stand out. Now at launch, Ford has 3 trim levels. We have the EcoBoost, which will be the base version, then the GT with the 5.0 Gen 4 Coyote motor, and the trim that has been the highlight of the reveal is the Dark Horse trim. Now, before we get into the 2 reasons why I think the Dark Horse trim will fail, let's talk about what the Dark Horse trim really is. The Dark Horse trim for the 2024 S650 Mustang will sit above the Mustang GT. The Dark Horse trim will be powered by the 5.0 Gen 4 Coyote motor that will be tweaked even further to make 500 plus horsepower. It will also receive the highly anticipated Tremec manual transmission. These 2 alone should sell you on the Dark Horse trim over the regular Mustang GT. But wait, there's more. The Mustang Dark Horse trim will receive lots of suspension components to also make it a track monster. Now with all the addition, this seems to be the best S650 Mustang you can get at launch. So why do I think this will completely fail? Well, here's 2 reasons why I think it won't be as successful as Ford thinks. So maybe fail is a strong word. Let's just say unsuccessful. Now, number 1 is the price. Now, Ford did not reveal the price itself, but we have few things we can use to arrive at the pricing for the new Dark Horse trim. We know this will be the most capable S650 Mustang at launch, so it will be above the Mustang GT, which is kind of similar to how the Mustang Mach-1 is positioned currently. You've got more horsepower than your typical Mustang GT, you've got a beta manual transmission, and of course a lot of suspension bits to make it a serious track monster. Now for the 2022, the Mach-1 starts at about $56,000. Then you can add the handling pack for another $4,500. So basically $60,000 for Mustang Mach-1. And that's not even the premium trim. So you have to get another $2,000 or so to get all the creature comfort, the digital dash, to really get the fully loaded Mustang Mach-1. So for that, you're probably looking closer to $62,000, $63,000 for the 2022 model year. Now, based on where the Dark Horse trim is positioned in regards to the S650 Mustang lineup, it is safe to assume it will be a $60,000 vehicle at least. Of course, typically with each new generation, the price increases, so you have to factor in that as well. And I think the $60K is about a safe bet, all things considered. But can you even get it for $60,000 if you truly wanted to buy it? Unfortunately, we live in 2022, the era of dealership markups and supply chain issues. Most Mach-1s have at least 5,000 markups currently. So with this Dark Horse trim for the S650 Mustang being positioned similarly, it won't surprise me that if it follows a similar markup situation, which overall makes it unaffordable or at least less valuable as it loses the performance for dollar ratio. Now, of course, a lot of people bought Mach-1 and the Shelby GT500s with the markup, so why not the Dark Horse, right? So this brings us to the second point, which is why I think the Dark Horse may not be as successful as Ford thinks, and that is the brand recognition and the history of the Dark Horse trim. People are willing to pay extra to own a piece of iconic names such as the Shelby, the Mach-1, and Boss 302. These nameplates have been associated with the Mustang pretty much since the inception, so they carry a legacy and a history that the Dark Horse simply just doesn't have yet. The collectors are out to buy those. Even an average Joe like you and I, we want to feel, exclusive. We want to feel like we own a piece of automotive history. So we want a Shelby, we want a Mach-1, we want a Boss 302, matter of fact, because these are pieces of history for the Mustang. Since these names are also so iconic, you can expect to buy that Mustang and just have it hold value. Like when it comes to reselling, the Shelbys and the Mach-1s just go for a lot more dollar than what you would get for a normal Mustang GT. Now, with the Dark Horse trim being an all-new trim for the Mustang, it just doesn't have the legacy that some of the other nameplates have, does it? Becomes a hard sell for an inflated MSRP and a markup on top of that. I mean, imagine getting a Mustang Dark Horse, which is pretty much a performance pack. I would say it's a little bit more than performance pack. It's got more components than just like revised suspension. So you got a better engine, you got better transmission, and more suspension bits to really kind of make it sell above Mustang GT. But in the end, it's a trim that no one has really associated Mustang with. When you hear a Shelby, you think of a Mustang. When you hear of a Boss 302, you hear of a Mustang. When you hear the Mustang Mach 1, you think of the Mustang. Dark Horse, not so much. It's a new trim. Not everyone associates it with a Mustang. I'm sure it will eventually make its place where it's known, but right now that's not the case. So with all of that being considered, it may not be as easy to sell at a markup, whereas the Mach 1, if you knew you were paying a markup, down the line you know you can sell the Mustang Mach 1 and recoup some of the markup you paid originally. I know Ford has been trying to crack down on dealers with markups, but that just hasn't been successful because there's tons of dealers currently selling Mach 1s and GT500s with the additional markups. Now, GT500 is just absurd, where some dealers are asking $20,000, $30,000 over MSRP. With the Mustang Mach 1, you could probably get it $5,000 over MSRP. But I mean, before these supply chain issues started, paying an MSRP for a vehicle, maybe if it's a special vehicle, made sense. But any other GT, like a regular Mustang EcoBoost or Mustang GT, we're like $6,000, $7,000 off of MSRP. But nowadays, even GTs are being sold for MSRP, at least at my current local dealer. So if Ford can solve the markups and keep the MSRP under control, because obviously with each new generation, like I said, the prices are bound to increase, and that's fine and all, but if Ford can kind of keep the cost where it's a little bit more affordable for an average Joe, then it might be able to sell the Dark Horse without markups and just really kind of be strict with the dealers that if they are selling vehicles with the markup, there should be a website where you can report the dealers and Ford kind of investigates it. They don't get the allocation. The dealer itself kind of gets limited on their allocation, so that means they'll play by the rules and try to sell it at MSRP, if not under MSRP. I personally think that the Dark Horse trim level for the S650 Mustang has a lot of potential to be successful. It pretty much gives you everything that you would want out of a new Mustang. You've got motor that makes a lot more horsepower than your average Mustang. So you're going to have a 500 plus horsepower Coyote motor. You've got Tremec transmission, not the MTD2 anymore. And we got a lot of suspension components as well, borrowed from some of the GT500 as well. Carbon fiber parts from GT500. So it's pretty much the full package you could expect from an S650 Mustang, and something that's really exciting. Now, if Ford can keep the price under control and kind of navigate through all the dealer markups and be able to sell those even at MSRP, because in the end it might be a collectible, it might be a special vehicle. If Ford can basically navigate the dealer markups, I think we're going to have a long line of buyers lined up to be buying this Dark Horse trim, and it may be successful. Of course, down the road we know Ford is probably going to unveil a GT500 or something like that. I kind of wish Ford had gone with Boss 302 for the Dark Horse name instead, because Boss 302 has that legacy, and I feel like if dealers are charging a little bit markup, people will justify it that since it's a Boss 302, it will hold its value a lot better, so might as well just sell it now or buy it at a markup and sell it at a profit as well. But Ford chose to have a all-new trim level, which nothing is wrong with. We'll just see how it holds up in this Mustang world. Well, guys, that's all I got on the Dark Horse trim and why I think it may not be as successful what Ford thinks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me in the comments below what do you think about the Dark Horse trim. And as always, subscribe to Red 50 for more Mustang content.